Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another comic book haul video. I believe this is comic book haul 47, the second of 2022. When I first started making these videos back in the summer of 2014, I never thought I would get all the way to number 47 when it comes to comic book hauls. It's quite a big number with a lot of books. A lot of books over the years have come and a lot of books have gone. But with that being said, I've been able to upgrade some books, bring back some books to the collection, and get some books I've never had. Now, the books I have today are, pretty much a mixed batch of things. Nothing too crazy because, with the way prices are today, it's hard to buy anything too crazy, but I have my eyes set on something, so maybe by the end of the year we might see something decent. Decent when it comes to grailish, okay? But for now, I think these books here are pretty cool. And like I said, as I said before, some books have gone, some books have come, some books have gone, some books come, some books go. I brought back a couple of books, and I got one in particular here that I'm glad I brought back. It's a minor book, but pretty cool anyway. So, and I also got the last book I'm going to show is something that I felt I needed to have, and I'll explain more about that when we get to it. But let's start with this one. This is Weird War Tales number 46. There's nothing really significant. It's not an expensive book. I should make a video series of just books that are cheap that you can get. I have variations of that on my channel, but this would be one of the books I'd put in that because I think it's like $15, $20, 8.0. Now, the reason why I got it is because of the cool cover. Look at that cover. That is so cool. These Weird War books, much like some of those House of Mystery, House of Secret books, have some great covers. They really do. If you're looking to get some cool covers, that's a pretty good series, an underrated series I might add to start collecting for. Now, a lot of the books in this haul come from my local comic book shop. So a majority of them come from my local comic book shop. That wasn't one of them, and there's still a few in here that did not come from my local comic book shop. But here's the first that has. I finally got a West Coast Avengers number 45. Now, I made fun of this book, and I'll still make fun of it. But it's not bad to have. The way the price shot up, we could all complain about that over and over again. And this might lead me to go into a little rant. But isn't that the way it's always been with books? For whatever reason, a book goes up. A movie, TV show, cartoon, an event in comics, whatever it is, whatever decade it was. Books shoot up. They shoot up in price, books that you never thought would shoot up in price. I remember 20 years ago, the Amazing Spider-Man 149, the first appearance of the Spider Clone, because they were doing that Spider Clone storyline. Now, this is before movies, this is before TV shows and all that stuff. That book shot up. It was like a $20 book all day, and then it went up to about $200 and change. And of course, it's come down a bit, but even now it's starting to go up again. But the point is, books have always gone up, and there'll always be people out there that are complaining about it. Before I show the next book, I'll give you one more point to what I've just been saying. A lot of people on Facebook, not YouTube, I've seen a lot of people on Facebook, whenever an Amazing Fantasy takes a dip, immediately, it's a sign that everything's going to start going down and all that stuff. And these people, I can't help but laugh at them. They notice that there's a dip in Amazing Fantasy. So you see the price is going down for a certain book. Are you buying it now? Or are you waiting for it to go up so you can complain about the crazy price of it? Some of these people, they just never learn. That was my little rant. Here we have another book from my local comic book shop. It's a great book. It's such a great cover. And happy to bring it into my collection. We have House of Mystery number 174, classic cover from this series, right? Never had it in my collection. And my local comic book shop had it, and I said, geez, I think I need that. especially since I think the last few comic book hauls, the end of last year, you notice I've been picking up a lot of House of Secrets, House of Mystery, Ghosts, Sinister House of Secrets, things of that nature. It's only fitting that I bring that classic cover in. Some of those Neil Witching Hour, stuff like that. Now, I got a lot of Spideys in this haul. Most of them come from my local comic book shop, but this one right here doesn't. Amazing Spider-Man 91. I thought it was a cool cover, and it's in really nice shape. I would say it's probably a 7.5, maybe an 8.0. And I think I got it for like maybe $25. So I said, no, why not? Now, this one did come from my local comic book shop. It's another nice grade. What was it, 7.5? Something like that. Amazing Spider-Man number. It's out of order. I know that was like, what, 91. This is 82. But I love this Electro cover. You know, some of those later Amazing Spider-Mans, like right before 100, like, you know, from 70 to 100, a lot of those covers are pretty cool. I mean, of course, there are a lot of covers before that are cool too, but I think sometimes some of those covers, like the two I just showed, are forgotten about. Now, this one didn't come from my local comic book shop. The next two didn't. But I never had this one. 96. This is the drug issue, right? When we first, went out the first book not to have the comics code. Never had this one. I had the other two, but never got this one. So I finally pulled the trigger and got this one. This is another one. Nice grade. Maybe a 7.0. Here's one that I upgraded. I've had this. I had a copy of this since, 1994, and I recently got rid of it. And I upgraded it with this one, which is a nice, I think this one's probably a nice 8.0 copy. 7.5, 8.0 copy. Really nice. All right, this is a book that I showed in a previous video. It wasn't a haul, but it was a previous video about modern books to own. And I love it. I really do. And I'm not, as you know me, I'm not really much of a modern person when it comes to comics, modern collector. But Thor, God of Thunder, #2, the first appearance of Gore, the God Killer. I just love the storyline here. I like that character, Gore, and it's just too bad he's probably going to get killed off in Thor, Love and Thunder. But I'm really looking forward to seeing him on screen. He's such a cool-looking character, and he's really pretty formidable, Now, this one here did come from my local comic book shop. We have Thor, God of Thunder is a 6. Yeah, sometimes I get this one confused with #8 for whatever reason. I don't know why. Or 7. #6. This is the origin of Gore, the God Killer, and I believe it's the cameo of Null. Null doesn't make his first full appearance till Venom #3, but he shows up briefly in this one. So, again, another really great story and some pretty cool characters. Continuing on with books over the next, most of the books I'm going to show from here until the last two are from my local comic book shop, my Main Street Comics and Hobbies. Really gave me a great deal on this package, I thought at least. And here's another one. How could I turn down this cover? I like Hela. I like Hela a lot. And I like her helmet. I like any cover with her on it. And this is a really cool cover in the Thor #150. An upgrade. This is the third copy I've ever owned of this book. Here we have an Amazing Spider-Man #4, an upgrade copy that I'm very happy with. The very first one that I got I picked up around the same time I probably bought my original Amazing Spider-Man 98. And it was a real piece of garbage. It really was. And I sold that one off a couple years ago, and I upgraded it to like a 3.5, but it had some tape on it. And I was like, well, it's okay, but maybe I'll upgrade it again. And I did with this one. This one's a really nice copy. Really clean looking. Here's one I've never owned before, but I'm super happy to finally have added it to my collection. Amazing Spider-Man #45. Great cover. The third appearance of the Lizard, and also a purchase, like I said a few moments ago, from my local comic book shop. Most of these are going to be from my local comic book shop. Here's another great cover. Never owned this one. Amazing Spider-Man #62, the Medusa cover. Now here's an upgrade. This was one of the very first Spider-Man books I ever bought. Well, my older copy, and I finally was able to upgrade it. The Amazing Spider-Man number 53. Really nice copy too. The reason why I got this is because I just wanted to upgrade my other copy. You know, it's not because of anything in it, like, oh, this is a book to watch out for. No, it was just a great John Romita Dr. Octopus cover, and you know, I had a lower grade copy for, geez, almost 30 years, and I just got rid of it. You know, I wasn't attached to it. You know, I mean, there's some books that I feel a bit of an attachment to. You know, I think we all do. And if I were to upgrade that book, I don't think I could get rid of it. But that wasn't one of them. There's a couple left from the Amazing Spider-Man run that I had ever since I started collecting that are still with me that I'm going to keep. Those are my nostalgia books. The other ones that are just low grade, practically all of them are gone now. You know, because I had a lot. I had an Amazing Spider-Man 3, 4, 9, 14, 25, 42, 44, 50, 101. You know, I had all those, but they were all just so low grade, and most of them are all gone now, you know, because they were upgraded, and I don't think twice about it. This is a book I've never owned, and I've always liked this cover. Number 55. I know I need the 54. I think, you know, when Dr. Octopus came back for Romita, they gave him a bit of a story arc, right? You know, they gave him a little bit of an arc that I think started in 53, and I think it concluded in 56. I don't know, but I do need 56, and I do need 54, but this was a great one. Now to change it up a little bit, let's bring in a DC book. We had a DC book earlier, right? Did we have one? We had the House of Mystery. And we had two. We had House of Mystery and Weird War Tales. Here's a book. This is an upgrade. Detective Comics number 3. Was it 311? Yeah. The first appearance of Catman. Is this a big deal? No. But I had a copy for many years. And it's like a 3.0 copy. Nothing to write home about. This is a nice 5.0 copy. 4.5, 5.0 copy. It looks really nice. It is really nice. And I was just glad to finally upgrade it. And the last book that I got from my local comic book shop, I still have 2 more books to show, but the last one from my local comic book shop is a book that I've wanted for a long time. Just trying to get the right price, and this was included in the package of all the books that I got. Here we have Thor number 139, the first appearance of High Evolutionary. This is probably a nice 4.5 copy. You could use a press. I'm not going to get it pressed. I couldn't care less. But it's probably like a nice 4.5 copy. Great colors. Great colors. Nice book. Really nice book. I know that when High Evolutionary comes out, you know, it's going to be right here and it's going to go right down. But I don't care. You know, I'm a collector first. And I like adding to my collection. And then, of course, there are some that I probably won't want to keep. And there are some that I have gotten rid of, like I stated in the beginning of this video. Easy, you know, so some come and some go. But first and foremost, I am a collector. And I just like having these key issues. It's just really cool just going through a short box or a long box and saying, yeah, you have this? Yep, I got that, I got that, I got that, I got that. It makes for... it's nice to look at, and it makes for a really decent collection. So let's go over the last two. This is a book that I brought back into the collection. I forget what comic book hall it showed up in, but I think it was December 2016. Like I said, whatever one that was, or December 16 or 15 or whatever it was, I don't remember. And I had a 4.0 copy. I think it was 16. I had a 4.0 copy, and I upgraded it to this nice 5.5 copy. Marvel Superheroes number 18, first appearance of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Someone wrote their name over here, but I couldn't care less. I still like this book a lot, and it's still a lot better than the one I had, in my opinion. So it was nice to finally bring this back into my collection. What I would like to bring back this collection, hopefully this year, because I sold them off, I would like to bring back Marvel Premiere 4 and 7. The first appearance of Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon. I already have their first comic book appearances. I was able to bring those back, but I would like to get their first true appearances again. And then I'll have all the Guardians of the Galaxy appearances. No, that's not true. I don't have Groot, and I don't know if I'm going to be getting that anytime soon. But at least I'd be back where I was when I first showed my first copy of Marvel Superheroes 18. That wasn't the last book. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I felt an obligation to get this, and it's becoming harder and harder to get. It certainly is. And I've had many opportunities over the years to buy this, but I just turned them down. And I eventually, fortunately, I was able to find a book that's in great shape for the price that it was a couple of years ago. And I got it from my comic book shop, and you know how they undergrade their stuff. And I think this is a really nice copy. It came the other day, and I'm super happy to have it in my collection. But when I looked outside, and I knew it was coming that day, I looked outside and I saw this big box. I said, well, that must be it. But why did they put that in such a big box? I wasn't expecting something that big. And boy, when I opened it, I was like, oh my God, I never realized that this thing is the size of like a Norman Rockwell hardcover art book. But here it is. Now, let me see if I can lift it. Oh, horror comics from the 1950s. Like I said, I felt I needed to add this to my collection. As an EC fan, every EC fan should have this. This is what EC fans call the big book. And like I was alluding to a few moments ago, I could see why it's called the big book. Because this thing is huge. Like I said, it's almost like a Norman Rockwell collection of art that you would see on some coffee table or whatever. Instead, you'll have this on my coffee table. But man, this is, I looked through it. It's really nice shape for its age. I think it was 1971 this came out. And because the dust jacket is always the hardest to get in good shape. But it's really good shape. There's a couple little tears and all that, and like a little tear right here and things like that. But it's not split. It doesn't have any real major creases unless it's around the tear, of course. Nothing else. It's very clean. So that's one of the hardest things to get when you're looking to get this book, to find one that has a clean dust cover. But here it is. And like I said, it's huge. I was expecting something like this. These are the Cochrane ones, right? This is my original. Not that heavy. Let's see if we can do the size comparison. Yeah, this thing is huge. But I was expecting something like this. Or maybe even a little smaller. But like I said to you earlier, now I know why they call it the big book. I just thought they said, well, it's the big book that put some of the classic stories from EC together. That and the fact of its sheer size. It's just amazing. But anyway, I'm glad to have brought this in my collection. I feel like, as any EC fan, like I was talking to you about earlier, they need to have this in their collection. And it's, it's hard to find in great shape because of the sleeve. And it's getting more and more expensive. So I was just lucky that I was able to find this for the price that it was a few years ago when I was turning them down in the condition. So I'm just happy. But like I said, EC fans, you should add this to your collection. Well, that's my haul. That's 47 for you. I have another haul coming up in a couple of months. I'm going to have a lot of original ECs to show you. I've been getting some of those, and of course some other books. So I hope you tune in for that video as well. But until then, enjoy everybody and be safe.